From rug pulls to riches, I walk through the fire. With knowledge and confidence, I'm rising high.
Take kudos, pleb.
Sibs, we turn knowledge into power. This is the Plebs Roost channel, where underdogs rise.
In a world where knowledge is power and confidence is key, we rise from the depths of adversity.
Started from the bottom, just a pleb on the chain. No fame, no gain, just struggle and strain. But I studied the code, learned to ride the wave. Crypto taught me how to build and how to brave. From the ashes of doubt, I mine my worth. While the world tried to crash me, I found rebirth. Bitcoin in my brain, blockchain in my soul. Now I move with precision, eyes on the goal.
They said I was broke, just a pleb in disguise. But I stacked my sats and I opened my eyes. From rug pulls to riches, I walk through the fire. With knowledge and confidence, I'm rising high.
I ain't chasing Lambo dreams, I'm chasing the truth. Reading white papers like scriptures in the booth. Self-custody, mind state, defy my path. Turn my pain into purpose, my scars into math. This is for the plebs, the ones they overlooked. Build it slow and steady while the whales got shook. We mend our own fate, no need for the gate. Crypto's the key, and plebs don't wait.
They said I was broke, just a pleb in disguise. But I stacked my sats and I opened my eyes. From rug pulls to riches, I walk through the fire. With knowledge and confidence, I'm rising high.
Take kudos, pleb.
Sibs, we turn knowledge into power. This is the Plebs Roost channel, where underdogs rise.
In a world where knowledge is power and confidence is key, we rise from the depths of adversity.
Started from the bottom, just a pleb on the chain. No fame, no gain, just struggle and strain. But I studied the code, learned to ride the wave. Crypto taught me how to build and how to brave. From the ashes of doubt, I mine my worth. While the world tried to crash me, I found rebirth. Bitcoin in my brain, blockchain in my soul. Now I move with precision.
Alright guys, you know what's up, man. I'm a noob to all this stuff. Drop me a 1 if y'all can hear me real quick. Make sure everybody can hear me. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Yo, yo, yo. Cool, cool. All right. Just making sure, man. You know I'll be missing up. All right, man. 2 for 2 back to back, like your boy Drizzy. We coming back. Everybody wants to do some DJing today. So we had our first live. We went over some of the tokens and stuff like that. We went to backtrack on everything that we talked about today. Now we're gonna start talking about the trenches. We're gonna go into the whorehouses, and we're gonna look for some meme tokens. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm using, and you know, look, I'm not promising you guys anything tonight. We're just gonna go look around and see what's up. We're gonna check parcels out. I know a lot of people were, you know, really excited about parcels pumping up 20%, and we're just gonna chill for a little bit. Look at some of the questions on here. You guys can ask me whatever. I'm off these next few days, so we can just vibe together. I got nothing going on. So let's get to it, man. just make sure my... Hold up, guys. I think we're having some malfunctions. All right, there we go. Just 1 second, just to make sure on my other monitor everything's good. Hold up. What it do? What it do? What's poppin', Dean? What's poppin'? Man, don't do this to me now. Come on now. What's up, E? I'm trying to share my screen on here. Hold up. Hope this ain't no massive failure. Come on now, let's go. All right, 1 second, guys. I think I got it. All right, there we go. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right, so this is Dex Screener, guys. Anybody that's trying to trade meme tokens, if you guys are in the KGU, I shared this in here. All the people that are in the Plebs Discord, y'all guys should already know what Dex Screeners is. This is where you look up all your meme tokens right here, okay? So right here on the side, you got Solana, Ethereum, Base, you got Pulse Chain, Avalanche, Sui, Polygon, and then you got BNB token, Binance token, Hyperliquid, Toncoin, XRP, Hyperliquid, Sonic, Arbitrum, Osmosis, Chronos, Tron, Say, all those. For the most part, the only ones that really matter are these first three are here, okay? At the end of the day, you know, 80% of the people are trading Sol meme tokens. So these are pretty much going to be everything that's popping off, okay? Now, remember, this is dangerous, okay? This is like super, super low cap right here. Basically, these first 20 are going to be the ones that are trending. So you can go right here. You can look for the things that are trending in the last 5 minutes, hour, 6 hours, 24 hours. You can look for new pairs. These are tokens that just launched on here on Deck Screener. There is another level below this. This is what is called Pump Fund, but I recommend you guys just start here for right now. And this is what we call the trenches. So if you guys are looking for the super duper low cap tokens, this is where you're looking at. Okay, so remember, this is just going to tell you basically, a little bit about the token. We'll try to find one right now. Let's see. We'll look for ones that are boosted. And when you go here in this little section right here, it says boosted. You want to look for the ones that have, these big lightning bolts. These are the ones that are paying for the bigger boosts. Doesn't mean that they're not going to be rugged or anything like that, but basically these people are trying to pump it up. So they have an incentive to try to get this price moved up. Let's look at Mori coin real quick. This one has a pretty big market cap. All right, so this one just launched about 4 hours ago. Let's see. Alrighty, so this is pretty common with these type of tokens right here. Usually they have these big massive run-ups, and then as soon as they get the Deck Screener listing and they get on this, they have a massive dump off. So what happens is that all the insiders and stuff like that, they usually come and they sell off here, and this is the opportunity to strike. This is probably where you'll know if the token's gonna, be alive or not. But if you can kind of pay attention right here, there's $29 in liquidity. So this is basically a no good token. So this is also the other things that you got to be mindful of. Probably the people who launched this token, they probably screwed up. So they didn't launch it correctly. So this means there's $29 in the amount of money that it's locked into the liquidity pool. They'll probably have to add money to the liquidity pool or something like that. This is the market cap. It doesn't mean that there's $129 million in there, but I wouldn't buy this. You can't always go off of like all this stuff right here. It's what I usually go for is this. There's a lot of holders in here. It's kind of weird. I've never really seen this. I'll have to ask some of my buddies about this. This liquidity thing's pretty crazy, but we can check some more stuff out. Let's look for a coin that it doesn't look weird like that. Let's look at Mooncoin. All right, so this one looks a little bit better. Okay, there's $343,000 in liquidity. There's about 6 million market cap. Okay, so pretty much the same thing. This is probably a Pun Fum token. It was launched 2 days ago. Big massive run up. They probably got a Deck Screener listing, then sold off, and then the people that bought back in, and pretty much just rinse and repeat. You can find out the website here, the Twitter. There's a good amount of holders. Usually I look for about 5,000. That other one had 15, but I don't know. There's something going on with that token. I would just stay away from it. This is the contract address right here. So if you were going to be trying to buy it, you would be copying this address right here, and then you'd be using Phantom. I'll have to show you guys how to do Phantom on another video or something like that. But most of you guys that are, trying to dabble in meme tokens, we're just going to go through Deck Screener right now and just look at this right now. But you can add Phantom Wallet right here, and you can add it as an extension right here. And, this is how you get it. So you'll trade, the meme token by getting the address. You'll go into your Solana wallet, type the address in, search it. You'll send Solana from your Coinbase account to your Phantom, and there you can swap on Phantom. And all Phantom is a hot wallet. This right here is just telling you all the people that are buying and selling. Looks like it's getting a little bit of selling going on here. Just remember, guys, this is like, again, the whorehouse of all meme tokens right here. This is like going into a strip club, man. This is really, really asking for trouble. So if you're going in here dropping like 5 or 6 G's, expect to lose it. Usually when I'm buying these type of tokens, man, probably 100, 200 bucks at a time. And, try to, be really conservative on your buys unless you know for sure this thing is going to be a runner. On here on top, usually will be the tokens that are pretty bullish at the moment. Let's check out a few more of these up here. We got Grills. Let's see what this one's about. Yeah, see, this one looks pretty good. 49K liquidity, market cap 188,000. This one's about 2 hours old. Same thing, you know, they launched, they probably got this deck screener listing, and then, you know, have a little bit of a sell-off right here. And then we just want to see if buyers are going to step in and push this token. It has, you know, not that many holders. We just got to, you know, if you guys are into this kind of meme, y'all can look it up on your own grills. Just keep an eye on it. We'll touch base tomorrow and see if maybe it can hit 300,000-400,000 market cap. That'd be 2x from here. Typically, you know, I like to buy ETH memes, so we'd come over here. Let's see what they got going on here. I see a lot of people talking about Zeus. Zeus is a new meta. This one came out about a month ago. All right, this one sold off a little bit. It's up 20%. Couple days. It's this Matt Fury meta. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Pepe and all that stuff like that. That's a meta that's going on with, you know, Matt Fury and all that stuff like that. Hoppy, Draggy, and all that stuff like that. Let's see. Let's check out some more. This is another Matt Fury token. Gaspis. Damn, this one rugged pretty hard. I have a guy in my Discord, he likes this token. I don't know, he has some big balls, man, because I can't do it, man. It's down 50%. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, are bullish on this one. That's crazy. Let's see how much far it's down from its all-time high. Let's see. It's down 68%. It's not bad. I mean, if you're bullish on memes. Same thing, you know, when you guys are buying Ethereum-based tokens, how are people buying that? I'm not sure, man. This one right here is going to be the same thing. You can buy it through Phantom Wallet. Same process. But honestly, you know, let's go back to Sol real quick. There's this other one called Cat with Mask or something like that. Alright, this one has a super big cult following behind it, dude. This one right here, look, not financial advice. I've shared this in the Discord and the KGU, and I've even shared it in Plebs. If you guys are looking for a super duper high risk token right here, this one's gonna be it. There's a super crazy cult behind this right here. I'm not gonna do TA on it because it's not worth it doing that kind of stuff with these type of tokens. But if you guys are looking for something, here it is. Okay, again, the contract address is right here. I'll post it in the Discord. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. Let's see. I'll drop the contract and the address for you guys because I love you guys so much. There you go. Merry Christmas. There's the contract address. So right there, all you gotta do is copy that, paste it on your Solana wallet. You can use Jupiter or Radium, and that's how you do it. So yeah, there's a really bullish, there's a lot of bullish sentiment behind this token, man. Really bullish. So, I mean, you know, not financial advice. If you guys got, you know, maybe $200-300, you know, the reason why I'm bullish on it, look how many holders there are, man. 32,000 holders. Like I said, I'm no meme expert. You know, Fudge, I don't know if you're watching this, but he's the meme expert in our Discord. That dude's a G. He's really bullish on it. I know a lot of people that are bullish on this token. But yeah, so this is where you look at though. Let's check out base. I know that a lot of people are bullish on base. Let's see. You got Blaze. Let's see what else is in here. Aerodrome. It's not a meme, but you can see all base tokens. You got Brett, Virtuals. I've talked about this one a lot. Let's check out this one. If you guys pay attention to me, you guys know what it is with this one. This is going to be Miggles. Check this out. Man. Up 10% on the day. See, from last week, so almost 30% from, let's see, 4 days ago, 30%. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's see, look at that. This would be almost a 7x to go back to its all-time high. The reason why I talk about this a lot is because it has the potential to get a Coinbase listing. You know, this is like Toshi. A lot of people don't know this, but you know, this whole Arrow thing is really a big deal because all these type of base tokens like Miggles and Ski Mask Dog and all these other AI agents that, you know, you can't buy in Coinbase, you're going to be able to get them pretty soon whenever they get integrated into Coinbase, the Arrow decks and all that. So instead of you having to do all this, you know, buying Ethereum and then swapping it over to a DEX or having to do all this moving everywhere to go. What's up, Megs? I know you're bullish on Mask. This is really, you know, like I said, one token that I'm really bullish on. And I think the cat is based off of Brian Armstrong's cat. And I know Coinbase has shown interest into them. And they've even gave them a nod. So look, I know a lot of people weren't expecting Toshi to get listed. You know, everybody was expecting Brett to get listed, and Toshi kind of front ran them all. So I still believe that this thing has the really strong case to get listed. And even if they don't, last time Toshi got listed, you know, Miggles did, I think, of 3 or 4x. And it was around this time when they got listed. I think Toshi got listed around this area, and they had this really big run up from there. This was about, 4x. Yeah, literally 4x from right there. So if this thing were to get that listing, I'm pretty much positive this thing would at least get a 7 back to its original all-time high. You know, like I said, if you guys are looking to get it, you'll need Ethereum, and you'll have to send it on base to your Phantom wallet, or you can use FemX. FemX is a site that I'm always pushing to you guys. If you guys need links for that, I'll drop them in the comment below later on. But FemX is an exchange that I use. I've partnered up with them, and you can get all these tokens without even having to use a DEX. So it's available. You can buy it on spot. So, you know, a lot of people don't like to use DEXs because they find them kind of like, you know, intimidating, but it's not really. It's just like having a wallet, man. Except it's just like instead of it being on your Coinbase, it's decentralized, so nobody's kind of watching you what you're doing. So yeah, this is another token that I'm bullish on, guys. You know, I know there's a lot of people that are behind Ski Mask Dog. Ski Mask Dog is another big cult token. Has twice the market cap of Miggles, and I may argue maybe probably a bigger cult following. It has you know, the guys that are in Brian John's Discord. It's probably one of the biggest crypto discords around. This thing has about almost a 7x as well. So very, very, very big possibility of this one probably could be listed on Coinbase as well. This one has a few politicians that I know that were even in this token as well. So it's very possible that, you know, this thing could get up there too. So, you know, in my opinion, I'd rather go with Miggles. You know, a lot less of a market cap and a little bit less of a community that, you know, it's really probably packed down in this thing. So you have a better opportunity of being able to, you know, get out quicker. Oh, we've got Nakafomo in here. Nakafomo's a meme dude. He knows what's up with those memes. You can drop some meme token love in here in the comment section. You know, Ponky and all those memes you were calling back in the day, my bro. Me, I like to stay with the safe ones, man. You know, I don't have that type of conviction like in those meme tokens anymore. For me, these are high risk, you know, but these are most definitely, you know, in my comfort zone. I'm not in my DGen days, man. Back in the day, I was aping in all kinds of crazy stuff, but for me, this is about as crazy as I get. And then, you know, you have some Sui meme tokens even too, man. I know a lot of people are bullish on Sui memes. The only thing is, ever since that whole stuff went down with Cetus, man, they just got kind of pulverized. So I know it's going to take a little bit of time for people to, you know, get back into, you know, the whole, you know, wanting to get into Sui memes. But depending on what you find, you know, you can most definitely find a good deal. So I know pretty much the ones that are pretty bullish are going to be like Lofi, Walrus. Well, that's not really a meme token, but let's see what else we got in here. We got the Pepe on Sui. Those really don't do too well. Let's see. Hippo. What it do? Exploration. What's up, Geo? What's poppin'? People got 15 people in here. Not too bad. Let's see. Let's check out Toilet. Yeah, this one don't look too good. Yeah, that one died out. No bueno. Avalanche. Nobody really buys memes on Avalanche, man. There was one called Big Red. I was in that token. I was really bullish on it, man, but it just died down. Let's check out Cetus. Look at this. This isn't a meme token, but you can even look up regular projects. As long as it's on the chain that you're looking at and it's on here, you can find it. So remember, Sui has its DEX, which is Cetus. This is a real project, guys. Remember, they had that big liquidity drain, and this is what caused this free fall down here. So, yeah, man, this is definitely something that I think eventually will come back. And if it does, this will be almost a nice, clean 200% return. So, not financial advice, but people that are looking to take some risk, and you guys are looking on the Sui ecosystem, definitely this is another one that you guys keep on the radar. Nako FOMO. I don't buy memes anymore, but I still love following them. Miggles on base is pretty lit for base memes. Yep, you are right, my dude. That's the only one I'm pretty much bullish on, bro. I like Miggles. You know, I still think Ski Mask Dog can do something, and I'm pretty bullish on that Mask token as well. I know a lot of people in the Discord are real bullish on it, but yeah, definitely, I get what you're saying, bro. Those days are over, man. I got too many gray hairs and stress from all these damn memes. But yeah, so look, man, I keep telling you guys, you know, a lot of people ask me, Jump, like, what's a good token that, you know, I can get risk? This one right here, man. You know, a lot of people are like, man, it's dead, it's dead. These people don't know what they're talking about. You know, these rugs and these liquidity drains, they've happened to a lot of tokens. If you guys look back and you go back and you check what happened with Pancake Swap, it happened with them. It happened with Ethereum. It even happened to Tau. Last year in 2024, maybe around this time, Tau had a massive, massive hack. And I think it went down to 150 bucks. I was actually working for another YouTuber. His name was Crypto Danks. Shout out to Crypto Danks, by the way. And I was calling that thing out, man. Me and a few of my guys, Jasper. Shout out to Jasper if you're watching. But we aped in there, and I got a nice return, man. We bought it at 150, 175, sold at 650, 675, 700, made some massive profits on that. So, you know, definitely Tau had that same situation. So, you know, people that are saying that Cetus isn't going to come back, you know, these people are not thinking clearly in their cabezas. You know, you have to understand that, look, man, the crypto markets are still very fragile. They're still in their infancy. You know, look at this, man. A 1,300% return, dude. That's a 13x, man. If it goes back to where it was originally, you know, it's just a thing that I'm willing to take risk on. You know, so if you drop $1,000 in there, that's $10,000 or 13,000. So, you know, another token that you can't buy on US exchanges, but you can get it on Femex. You know, that's why I love Femex so much, because they have a lot of stuff that I need. You know, if I need to buy these type of tokens, I can get straight on there, can buy it, and I can send it right to my Phantom wallet. And, you know, like I said, this, in my opinion, is good risk. Sui's not going anywhere. You know, Sui's it's one of the World Liberty 5 tokens that we talked about today. And, you know, it's something that, you know, Eric Trump's invested in. It has an ETF coming. And Cetus is his #1 DEX. Like I said, man, stuff like this happens all the time. I get it. You know, the whole, you know, them reversing those payments probably killed the vibe a little bit with it maybe being decentralized. But look, man, I'm going to tell you right now, you know, all this stuff is kind of just like, you know, you know, look, all that stuff is out the window, man. Crypto's not the same anymore. It's becoming more mainstream. You know, shit like this is going to be happening more and more and more. You're going to see even more sketchier stuff. But look, you buy these type of situations and you sell it to people that, you know, become bullish on it later on. You know, I can promise you, you know, you can sound clip me. You can take this for a reference. We can come back in 6 months. I can promise you, at a 75 million market cap, I can guarantee you this thing is going to be at least above 300 million market cap. Like I said, what is it? July, Christmas time. If this thing isn't by 300 million market cap, I will give away $500. So I'm challenging somebody to stick with me this long. I'm giving you a $500 incentive to, you know, stick with me that long. So you people that are affiliated with me, you can potentially pay for your Discord for this year and probably next year with this bet that I'm making with somebody. So all you got to do is say, hey, look, I'll take you that bet. So you guys already know what to do with that. So let's check out one more meme token, and now I want to hit on to, you know, what I really want to talk about today, guys, which is my baby parcels, man. We've had some pretty nice price action on that. Let's see. Let's go back to Solana real quick. Let's check out one more meme token. Let's see. What's a good meme? One of you guys tell me what's up. I'll wait for somebody to give me a meme token and check on the comment section. I'll let one of you guys decide. Come on, guys. Don't keep the audience waiting. What's up, Robert? What up, Gil? What up, Brenda? Jolly, what's poppin'? Pingu. Good old Pingu. I lost a lot of money with that token, man. I hate that token. Oof. Nice little run up. So you can do TA on this one because it's pretty much it's pretty much established itself as a blue chip meme. All right, it's up 80% in the last 4 days, or wait, 7 days. I don't know if you guys saw, they had that market bell open. There's a good decent amount of holders, almost close to 600,000 holders. You know, as long as NFTs do good, you know, in the future, this thing might have some staying power. I don't think this thing will go back to its all-time high, but, you know, look, let's just be real. Depending on what you're looking for, man, if you're looking for just, you know, something to get in and get out, make some quick cash, you know, you could probably take this thing back to maybe almost 2.5 cents, maybe even 3 cents. You can get you a nice 2x, maybe 2x, 3x. You know, and this all really just depends on the adoption of NFTs. You know, if NFTs come back, this thing will do great. The only thing that I can say about these people, man, is that they're really good workaholics, man. These guys, like I said, they rung the market bell. They have actually a licensed product back behind Pengu. They're on every major exchange, so You know, they could go to maybe 3 or 4 billion market cap. You know, if we get back into a proper bull run and we can have like, you know, meme cycle come back, maybe 5, maybe 6 billion. You know, like I said, I just think it's a little different now because, you know, we have so much meme tokens. And I think that, you know, DT, you know, whenever he launched his meme token, he just sucked so much of the liquidity out from the market. So, you know, you just kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, man. Let's check out PopCat real quick for my boy, Nakafomo. PopCat's a good one, man. I think the whole cat meme narrative is pretty solid too. Yeah. And this is on Coinbase too, man. Oh, wow. Look at that, man. Like I said, sometimes, you know, TA doesn't work, but, you know, for these that are like these blue chip memes, you know, sometimes, you know, you can do a little bit of TA on these things, man. Nice little rounded bottom. You guys know what's up. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. Nice 6x, almost 6x to go back to its original all-time high. You know, most of the time, about 90% of tokens don't ever return back to their all-time high. But I think it's fair to say, look, we can at least pop $1. That would be a nice, almost clean 3x from here. You know, $1, maybe $1.20. I think that's fair. You know, so you drop 2 G's. You know, maybe make you a little 10 G's on the side. You know, with these type of meme tokens, man, you know, look, I don't ever condoning people like putting this type of hard money in there. But, you know, some of the guys, like I said in my Discord, you know, you got to understand, man, you know, I know it's scary, but honestly, this token right here will come back. And, you know, sometimes when certain one of these blue chip meme tokens, they're a lot stronger than, you know, actual altcoins. So I'd feel a lot more comfortable putting $5,000 or $10,000 in Fartcoin than I would, you know, Pith or anything like that. You know, because these tokens just, you know, once the community comes back alive, you know, this whole cat narrative thing is going to start running again pretty soon. So, you know, not financial advice, but, you know, you want some high risk, drop $500 in this. You know, again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some loser on YouTube, just looking at meme tokens. So don't go out there and try to flip your rent money. This is something that's probably going to take at least 6 months to hopefully come back alive. But, you know, I mean, look at this thing, man. It has a lot of room to run. You know, this thing can definitely come back at least close to somewhere in this area and give you a nice 300% return. And I do want to check one more token on the memes, man. I forgot. I got to check my favorite meme token. You know, we love these bodily fluids. In the Discord, look at that, man. 1 billion. 1 billion. I know a lot of you guys are sleeping on your boy. It's okay. I forgive you, but, you know, we call this mucho times right here. We call this mucho times right here. Each time, man, I got down here, boom, 50%. Boom, almost 40%. I was dropping, you know, 5 or 6 G's right here. Each time, every time I even alerted, even the KGU, I say, hey guys, I'm loading up. Every time we hit this area, this is the buy zone. I don't, you know, look, I don't give a rat's ass if we come down lower. You know, this is a point to where, look, this is open interest right here, man. Every time, look, since we've been here in April, dude, this is where it's been. This is where, you know, this is where retail is scooping it up. So get a pen and paper. All you guys that are trying to get, you know, alpha on the go, look, 83 cents. Okay, that's your buy zone. Every time we touch here in this level, you know, buy. You know, if you were buying right here and we're up right here, take some money off the table. I just did this morning. I dropped about maybe 5 or 6 G's in here, so I took some profits earlier today. Look, I don't trust what's going on. You know, we've been having a pretty good, you know, run up over the weekend. And, you know, Mondays are always bullshit. You know, Trump will say something and then this thing will come back down. So, you know, I took some profits. I'm going to hit some buy orders. I'll stagger my buys anywhere between 97 cents and just lather them down all the way here. And just kind of rinse and repeat, man. At the end of the day, you know, I've just learned that, you know, instead of just waiting for, you know, these rate cuts, Just play this, just play it, just like this every time. And you go back and you think about it, 500, 500, 500, 500. You've already made 2 G's right here. And versus you just, just bag holding all the way through. Look, I can promise you that, this would probably be the only token that I'm pretty confident that might break its all-time high. But, I'm looking to get out around here because I was buying over here. So I'm not really looking to try to take it back over here. But look, when we start getting up into these upper areas around the 180, 190, $2, I'm going to be laddering out, DCAing out. Because like I said, I'm just looking for 2, 3, 4X's and I'm out. This thing has done great already, but you got to think about it. Look, this token launched at 1 cent. So the guys that got in here at 1 cent, they made almost a damn 1,000X, man, or 100X, whatever, 1,000X, 100X. They made their money. The money has been made. It had this massive crash down. And then when it started getting scooped back up, then I guess this is when retail actually started saying, oh, wow, this token's bullish. So, is it going to last forever? I don't know, man. But you got to kind of just ride the wave for what it is right now. So right now, this token's doing good. It's hot. And, you just got to ride the wave until it's not. So until things change, this is the way I'm handling it. When we get these rate cuts, maybe we might get this next leg up and we might go to the next level. And from there, we'll take everything how it goes, man. Like I said, right now, I'm just playing my game how I play it. And, we'll cross this bridge. Once we get to $1.30 and we can clear that, then we'll see what's up. But for right now, I'm just swing trading the hell out of this thing, man. It's been making me a lot of money. All right, let's see. All right, let's move on. Let's see. All right, let's go. All right, we got parcels. All right. All right, so remember, all last week, man, I was telling you guys all to buy down here, all last week, okay? I was telling you guys to buy down here, up 25%. So I think it's wise for people to start taking some profits for right now. Get this thing out of the way real quick. So somebody asked me in the KGU, hey Jump, where should I put some buy orders at? And I'm not gonna respond in there because, I said I'd be going live. So if you're watching, it'll be here for you. Okay, so we had this pretty big pump and this little long wick is a lot of people selling. Like I said, guys, I was cheerleading for you guys to be buying down here. Actually 40% from that dip down here, 40%. I was buying all that right there. So I have 2 bags. I have a swing bag of this and I have a long-term bag. My long-term bag, I'm not touching it because I need to at least get back up to here. Let's see. I'm looking for at least 40 cents, man. That's where I would like to go. Okay, but the swing bag that I put about 7 G's in, I just been swing trading the hell out of it. Every time we come down here, when we get 40% runs up, I'm selling, going into Solana. Then we get a correction down. Remember, these tokens right here will crash 20%. Sorry. These will crash 20%, and then I'll swap over from Solana back into there and rinse and repeat. Or I'll go into USDC on Sol. So like I said, when we get these big runs up like that, I swap back and forth. And what I'm trying to do is just compound my gains and trying to, double up my parcel bag or my swing bag. And then, you know, once I accumulate maybe 500,000 tokens, you know, when I get that final level that I want, and I hit back up to like, you know, 15 cents, I'll cash that swing bag out, and you know, I'll look for another token to go into. But you know, like I said, I do have a long-term bag, and then I do have a swing bag, and it's quite common for people to do that. You know, for sometimes, like, you know, like I have some on my cold storage, and I have some on my on my exchange that I use. And like I said, right now, if you are looking, let's take these order blocks off, man, because, you know, look, man, it's kind of cheating on the cools. You know, I'm gonna show you guys. You guys watched the live that I did today. You guys that are tapped in with the KGU, you guys got to get a little bit of info about the order blocks. If you guys aren't part of the KGU, or you're not part of plebs, then you got to sign up. Because I don't know if there's maybe some people in here that are not part of that. I'm not trying to give out no free game. You guys got to pay to play. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, where is support? So, if you guys were watching, you know, we use that 4 hour, but we're so damn low that, you know, we're kind of already still low from where we are at this, you know, 14 zone. So I'm looking for something on a local low, so I need to use smaller time frames. So right now we've already pulled back, I think, a good, what, almost 10%. So I'm looking for this area right here. So what I want to see is this, I don't think maybe 6.4, but I want to see if we can make like an area right here, maybe 6.7. I want to see that previous spike up right here, see if we can keep that as support. So then when we come down here, you know, if we come down here, I want to see if we're going to consolidate right here and use that as a new support line. That way we can build support, get ready for the next leg up, and then see if we can clear this 8 cent zone. Okay, so we have a lot of resistance here with parcels, man. You know, we have a long ways to go. So let's put our order breaker blocks back on. Okay. So now look, just as I said, you know, getting up here into this 14 cents, this is detecting 13. You know, when we start getting up into these levels right here, you know, that's gonna have a lot of selling pressure. But remember, guys, if you guys were buying down here, like I said, you guys already know where I said to sell. Again, we're not gonna talk too much levels in here just because I don't, you know, just in case some people are in here. We don't want to be giving away too much of the free sauce, but you know, look, this could be a nice, easy swing trade for you guys. You know, I took some profits on that earlier, and I'm just waiting to see if it comes back to where it gets back on that level. And like I said, we're just gonna keep playing that game, man, like we're doing with Fartcoin, rinse and repeat, making easy money. You know, this token right here is gonna be a big breadwinner. You know, hopefully I can get this interview with these guys, and you know, I can talk to them and see what their plans are in the future. And you know, like I said, this token has a lot of future, man. It's doing something that a lot of other tokens aren't doing, and that's what makes it really bullish. Is that, you know, tokens have to have their own unique niche about them. You know, DeFi is cool. You know, AI agents are cool, but who's trading real estate? You know, who's doing that? Not a lot of them are doing that. So, you know, parcels is definitely, you know, something that's interesting. You know, if these guys are able to, you know, land it, and if the whole RWA sector really does take off. Remember, if Ondo does good, parcels will do good. You know, Plume will do good. All these RWA tokens will thrive. But, you know, like I said, the conditions have to be right. You know, certain token sectors are going to have their moments in the sun. You know, for instance, you know, there might be a month that AI agents would be doing good, and then RWAs won't be doing good. A lot of times people will message like, oh, Jump, what's going on with parcels? Oh my God, man, it's not pumping, it's not doing this. But not all tokens go up at the same time, guys. You know, I think that you don't want that to happen. If you have all your tokens going up at one time, that's kind of stressful, because then you're managing every damn token, at once. You know, I think Polygon Matic towards the end of the bull run was the last token to pump up. Quant as well. So, you know, people that were like, oh man, I'm just gonna get rid of this token, it ain't doing shit, they sold it and then it pumped. You gotta understand, not all crypto is gonna pump at once. You should actually be really hoping that it doesn't, because it actually would make it better. Because if you do have tokens that are underperforming, you can maybe take capital that you have on reserve to put it into that token, and hopefully that token will run up and you can make money instead of just, you know, just throwing money in everything and kind of gambling to hope that all of them pump at once, which they don't. You know, like I said, there's going to be times where like XRP is going to be having all the love and Ethereum might be taking a back seat, and vice versa. Maybe there might be times where Ethereum's going to be blasting off and XRP may not be blasting off. All this is really just based off of like market sentiment and what's happening. As soon as these stablecoin bills come about, Ethereum's going to have a massive run up. You know, there is more people staking Ethereum than ever before. There's more people staking Solana than ever before. You know, all these stable coins are running off ETH. You know, you got institutions buying them, you know, and that's the thing that a lot of people aren't being told. People are not being told that people are buying ETH at record numbers, but it's just a lot of people that are getting into this whole fearmonger crap, and they're getting, you know, flooded out of their bags. And, you know, I get this question a lot too, like, oh, well, why isn't the price moving up? Why is everything just not moving up? It's because a lot of times these guys buy OTC, man. You know, they're buying over the counter. That means like it's peer to peer. So I'm like, hey, P, I'm gonna buy, you know, 10,000 Ethereum from you, but can you cut me a deal? And yeah, man, I'll give you, you know, 4 or 5% discount. And that's what these guys do. And that's the same thing that they're doing with Bitcoin. You know, that's the reason why, like Michael Saylor, you think Michael Saylor gets on Coinbase and buys through Coinbase? No, man. This guy, he has his own plugs. He goes straight to the miners and they buy it straight from the horse, man. They don't need to go to Coinbase. And that's the main reason why there isn't the price spike up, because it's not on the exchanges. So I think it's kind of messed up, you know, because when these people sell, they sell on the exchanges, but they always like to, you know, buy off chain. So I know it's pretty messed up, but, you know, eventually, you know, these exchanges and these miners will run out. And when the miners do run out of Bitcoin, then you will see these major spikes up. And, you know, look, there's always going to be sellers. You know, I don't think we'll ever completely run out of Bitcoin unless we do get this massive global adoption. But I don't really get, like, lost into all that stuff, man. I think at the end of the day, you know, some of this stuff is all pipe dreams. But, you know, I think that, look, could we have this 150K Bitcoin? Most definitely. You know, but as far as like, you know, this 300, 400, 500,000, I don't think so. So just guys, make sure you guys also keep this, you know, your expectations real, you know, conservative. You know, let's check Bitcoin's chart real quick. You know, and the thing that really just kind of irks me about the people in this space, man, is that, you know, crypto is full of grifters and bullshitters, man. You know, everybody is trying to sell you something. You know, what people don't tell you is that, you know, when they're like, oh man, we're not in a bull market. Well, where were you over here? You know, 3 years ago, you know, Bitcoin was at, you know, $15,000 or a little bit longer than that. It was at $19,000, man. Where were you? So, you know, when people are saying that, you know, we're not in a bull market, and I've said it a few times, like, you know, we can actually, Bitcoin can be in a bull market and alts can be in a bear market. But I mean, we're still almost up 5x from where it's at. So yeah, definitely Bitcoin has been doing great. So a majority of people are just late to the show, man. You know, I would be more than happy to show people of all the countless Facebook posts that I was making, you know, back in 2022. I've had a lot of people tell me I was a effing idiot, you know, when I was buying Bitcoin, you know, over here. I had everybody laughing at me on Facebook. You know, I had my employer, you know, at the time before I became a partner, you know, he was telling me, man, you're crazy, you're crazy. An old man, you're crazy. Bitcoin's not going to go to 100K. And I always stuck with it all the way through. And I just bought. And I held through all this shit, dude. Everything, man. I held through SpaceX selling Bitcoin. I held through, Operation Choke Point 210. I held through the SEC scrutinies, everything, man. I held through all this stuff, and I was rewarded. I took profits, man, and, was able to secure life-changing money. And, that's just how it is, man. You got to have balls and you got to have conviction in what you believe in. But at the same time, you also got to be realistic. We have to understand that, look, I do think that there's going to be a point to where we're going to run out of steam. And I don't want to be that guy to tell you where Bitcoin's going, because I truly don't know. I will be the first one to say, and I can go on the record, that I called for an 89,000 Bitcoin, and we all know how that went. And I've been completely just wowed by it, because you know what? I was under the impression that there just wasn't enough money to blast it past there. And, and now I'm seeing that there's just so much strength into it. But, the thing that a lot of people have to be careful is about Wall Street. Wall Street doesn't need to get, a 300% return. These guys are putting in billions of dollars. So if they get a 20%, 30%, 10% return on their crypto assets, you put in, $30 billion and you get 10%, that's $30 million, man. That's a lot of money. So that's just the only thing that I got to tell you guys to be careful about, is that, don't get too lost into, all this, cryptos are us and, all these other bigger channels, because, these guys, they've made their life-changing money already. And part of the whole scheme is to keep people buying, to make sure that they have their exit liquidity. So, look, I do believe that there's still some leeway into this cycle. It's no secret alts have been underperforming. But, if you have tempered expectations and you guys have realistic price points, you guys should be okay. What's up, Crit? What it do, Jump? It's money made. What's poppin', my bro? I saw you getting that wins on that parcels, man. What's up, Neb? Parcel gangs in the building. So, yeah, man. I mean, look, I know I said I want to give a price prediction on Bitcoin because, like I said, I just think that, nobody knows. But, I'm anywhere between 120 to 160, man. I think that's realistic, Ethereum, Ethereum is my biggest holding right now. Hasn't been doing well, but, I'm still believing, dude. Right now I'm looking to get back to this all-time high. I want to see 4,000. If we can get back to 4,000, I'm happy to sell, and I'll take it on the chin. I bought a lot. Thank God I bought down here to kind of save my account. But, during last year, majority of my purchases were right here at 24. So, I purchased about 30 to 40 ETH. And right now I've been holding about a year still at a break even. So, when we dropped down here to 1,400, 1,300, that's when I started loading up really heavy. So now I'm in the profits, but, I'm just being realistic with myself. I don't know if there's going to be enough retail push. I'm just kind of praying that, this can materialize into something big. This would be a 60% return. And, it's just a big lesson learned, man. It's a lesson learned to never bet against Bitcoin. It's a lesson learned to always, always, always never bet against Bitcoin, because, as many times as that, people have said that they've been in the cycle multiple times, it doesn't matter. I've been in multiple cycles, and I can tell you that I've seen things happen this cycle that I've never seen before. So, sometimes experience doesn't matter, because I really thought that, once Bitcoin had its all-time high, a lot of the money was going to shift over into alts. And it did happen, but to a certain extent, we didn't have that blow off top. We didn't have these massive run-ups. And, I think where I made that big mistake at was thinking that, Ethereum was going to have this massive blow off top. And it's still maybe on the table. You know, like I said, we still have a lot of bullish catalysts. We got to just keep our eyes open and see what happens. But, you know, on my ETH gang, you know, if you guys are looking to, you know, ride back up, you know, it's back at 2,500, thank God. You already guys know what's up with the resistance. We have resistance at 2680, and then we have that resistance back at that 2850. So if we can clear these levels and we can get back up, I still believe that we can hit that 3,400. And I will say that if we never would have had these tariff wars and we never would have had any of this stuff going down with Israel and Iran, we would have been here. Okay, I made a bet with everybody saying that I believe that we would hit 3K, and that I said that if we could steer clear of all the drama and all that stuff, that we would be back in that area. Once we hit 3K, that's like a psychological number for Ethereum. You know, we go to 3,000, you can see right here, we don't have much resistance until we get back up to 3,500. And that would be really, really, really monumental for people that were buying back here. That would almost be a clean, almost a clean 3x or 2.5x, whatever. And, you know, like I said, man, people that were buying at 1,300, you know, all the way back up to close to 3,600, man, that's just, that's a great return. You know, you can't even get that in the stock market. So you got to think like institutional money, man. So, you know, hey, when we get back up there, hey, I probably could be taking some, you know, chips off the table. So definitely a possibility. You know, so we have to kind of just keep those things in the back of our heads, man. All right, let's cover one more token. It's getting late, man. Your boy has some stuff to get doing tonight. Let's see, we have 16 people. We got some people dropping off. People probably getting tired. Let's check out Solana real quick and we'll call it a wrap, man. All right, let's clear the chart up real quick. Remember, guys, Solana 2, man, has ETFs coming. I think Van Eck or one of these ETF sites said that staking ETFs coming soon. Stuff is happening. You know, that low down at 126 was GOAT, man. Whoever picked that up, good stuff. I didn't get that low. I got 130, but you're up 20%. So another good thing, man. Remember what I said, guys? People that were up on parcels, take that money, roll it into Sol. You know, right now, right off the bat, what I see, right now, from what I see that inverted head and shoulders, man. Shoulder, shoulder, head. That's bullish, man. It's not the cleanest, but oh my Lord. Let's change the color real quick. You know? I'll fuck with this later. But yeah, man. Shoulder, shoulder, head. So definitely could get some run-ups here. Resistance at 168. Got more right here at that 180. And you got some right here at 187. For me, I bought down here and I've been kind of just swing trading this as well. I might hop off here. Nice 2x for me. Bought here at these lows. So look, man, I'm just looking to get quick 2x's and I'm getting out, man. You know, for me, I'm not sure about Sol. I mean, could it go back up to 300? Who knows? I've been really kind of, you know, debating on how can you top, you know, the presidential meme token. You know, could it happen? Definitely. You know, but I still think that, you know, look, man, that's just a place that I think would be good to get out. You know, and I'll throw out some other real quick plays real quick. If you guys are looking for stocks, you know, some stuff that I've been buying is Sol T. That's the ETF 2X leverage play. Then I've been buying the XXRP leverage ETF 2X. And then I've been buying ETHU. The guys that are in the Plebs Discord know that I've been buying the hell out of these things, man. And these things right here give you the exact same derivative leverage exposure that you guys are looking for. If you want to just buy that, you can get a lot of exposure to, you know, price upwards if, you know, these tokens are doing good. Like if you're buying during this whole Iran stuff, you know, on that Sol T, you're doing great. So I've been pretty vocal about, you know, in plebs, and I've even said it a couple times in the KGU that I've been buying these ETF leverage positions pretty good. And then I'll give you guys one more before we close it out. It's like Christmas over here, man. You guys are getting all kinds of shit from me. Nike, man. Your boy, I'm not much of a stock dude. You know, that's for all the KGU guys, man. But, you know, for me, fucking hell. Let's see. No, I'm not much of a stock person. I don't even know how to look this shit up on the charts. Anyways, I'm thinking that, you know, look, if you're trying to get back into Nike, man, let me check out where the fuck it's at. All right, so it's at 72 bucks. Maybe start taking positions at 69. You know, I'm not the stock guy, but like I said, all I know is when I like to buy stuff, I like to buy stuff that's oversold. I was scooping it up here at 52 bucks. So this Friday, you know, I started taking profits. I'm up 40% on it. You guys that are in the Discord, y'all guys know that I've been kind of going hard in the paint on Lululemon. I need to learn how to look these things up on here because the chart looks real funky. But so I was scooping up here around the 230. If we can get back up into these levels, that would be sweet. But honestly, I'm just trying to get back up to the 300s, and then I'll be taking some profits from there. So that's how I'm doing it. You know, like I said, guys, I'm not a stock person. You guys know that I'm more mainly in crypto, but you guys know what's up, that I know how to make money though. So I look for things that are super oversold. I look for things that people don't want, and I know how to make money off this. So you guys that are in the plebs Discord, you guys know how to, y'all guys know what's up. You know, you guys know what's up. You guys see me many times, 2x, 3x, 4x. You guys see me, you know, pump some good stock plays and stuff like that. So this ain't nothing, man. You know, like I said, stocks is just, you know, 3 or 4%. You know, people are freaking out, man. That kind of stuff with crypto, man, that's baby shit. You know, we're used to, you know, 30%, 40%, and you know, like I said, for Nike, man, that's just a good place to be parking money. You know, I think that we probably could get a push up to 80 bucks, but I'm already pretty much scaling myself out, and I'm more, like I said, interested into, you know, some of these Lululemons and, you know, a few other plays that, you know, we have in our Discord. So, all right, man, it's getting late. We've been pretty much consistent with having 20 people. I know it's late, and I know people have jobs that they got to go to. And as always, I appreciate everybody that continues to show me support. I'm a small YouTube channel, and like I said, every time that I come in here, I just try to give it my best. You know, I'm a type of person that, you know, I always strive to be better. I always try to get better at everything that I do. You know, when I first did my first 2 live streams, man, I was just sweating bullets. You could really see the fear in me, and I feel like now I'm starting to build my confidence. And I think I've even been in here for almost an hour, man, and just letting it flow. So I will get better. You know, I will get better. My goal is to outperform everybody that's in the crypto markets. I'm even to outperform people that are on my team. That's just what type of person I am. I'm competitive. I want to be the best, you know, and hopefully that inspires people to be better themselves. You know, I don't ever try to bring shade or hate on anybody. I always look to empower everybody to be the best. You know, the people that know me in my Discord, I'm always telling everybody good morning. I'm always challenging everybody to, you know, to be better. You know, we're more than just, you know, crypto signal group. And even in the KGU, man, I'm always just uplifting people. You know, I see a lot of people, you know, discouraged about crypto, you know, just down in the dirt and shit. But I'm always like, guys, come on, man. Like, this is an opportunity to change your life, man. I mean, you guys loved these tokens at all-time highs. You got to love them at these prices now, man. And that's just what type of person I am. People that know me, even in my own city, I'm just a motivator. I motivate my kids. I motivate my wife. I don't allow people to, I don't allow people not to give 110%. I know sometimes, we're human. We have our days. There's days that I'm not 100%. There's days that, I don't feel like doing it. But those are the days that I have to push the hardest. And I just appreciate everybody that, even gives me the time of day. Because like I said, man, this market has been shit. And, there hasn't been much interest in the crypto cycle. And, I honestly think that if I would have started this channel, a year ago, I probably would be at maybe 10 to 15,000 subs. But it was my own doubt, and it was my own, self-negative talk that hindered my growth. But, like I said, I think that, God always moves in our life when he decides to. And I'm by no means a perfect Christian, man. I'm still working on myself. I'm guilty of sometimes having a potty mouth and stuff like that. And I'm a work in progress. Don't judge me. But, guys, that's it for tonight, man. I really do appreciate it. And I love every last one of you guys that, constantly come on here and just give me the time of day. All my moderators and even my wife that's probably watching here. I just always give 110% because, life is shitty sometimes, and I have a lot of stuff going on outside of crypto. Just because I have money and all that stuff doesn't mean my life is peachy. And I think that honestly, this opportunity that I got, with the KGU and even just with my own Discord saved my life. And it gave me an opportunity to help people and give people the knowledge and tools that they need to be successful. So with that being said, guys, cheers, good night. Make sure you guys leave some comments here in P, Neb, Tequila, Gil, ZK Man, Gracia, Exploration, Retro Figgy, all my moderators, Jasper, all my people that have been rocking with me from day one, even KGU, man, especially you, Keenan, everybody that's just constantly uplifting me, man. I got something to prove to everybody. So before I start rambling till 2 in the morning,